The team was like crazy.
And we live, players.
What? Why you go live so quick?
Why not?
He was straightening up. Josh just said that. Go ahead. Let's go.
What your I gotta get used to saying it too. What your wife said about us when we was time to podcast.
What you mean?
Our mindset.
Oh, y'all mindset change? Yeah, but you ain't just get. You just said, "Oh, we live." You ain't say, "Oh, I'm about to go live." Y'all ready? You just went live.
I gave the warning.
All right,
Yeah,
guys,
didn't.
welcome back.
You get warning. You just say, "Oh, we live."
Just a heads up.
That's not the heads up if we already live. How is that a heads up? A heads up is telling y'all, I'm finna to do this. And you the king of knowing the definition of words, and that's not what that means. Right or wrong?
Oop.
Huh?
So Jay every day.
Motherfucker don't want to. Motherfucker don't want to look at definitions now. If a king of knowing the definition is and looking up the definition of something. So what's going on?
A lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on these days. You said you got back into your stock stuff, right?
Yeah.
How's it going? You relearning stuff?
No, it's just that you stop. You got to go back and relearn about stuff that you knew about because you ain't did it in a while. So when Mug say stuff, you be like, "What? I know what that means, but what does it mean?" You go look it up. Like, oh, okay, that's what that means, and this what this means.
You feel like you feel like you've been missing out?
Yeah, facts for sure. You always miss out. It's always money to be made in the stock market. Every day. Sometimes you wake up, you up 15,000. Sometimes you down 15,000. Sometimes you wake up, you up $4. Time you wake up, you down $6. It's always money being made. Trapper Wall Street always say, stock market prints money. And they do. Just got to know what to do and how to do it.
Trapper Walsh. Okay. I had to remember myself because I always get them like when you say Trapper Wall Street, I automatically think Earn Your Leisure.
He part of that. He
Right,
part of that little
right.
clique though. They all run together. They all cool as hell. Did y'all? I don't know. Do y'all look at the Joe Budden podcast or listen to it?
Not really.
Do you, Jerry? There? Nuh-uh. Cause they played a clip of DJ Envy, like kind of going at Earn Your Leisure, talking about like he made them, and they the reason why, like he the reason why they so big. If I'm paraphrasing, I don't know. Don't quote me on this. I'm just saying because I heard a clip, and I think that's what he was saying. So allegedly.
I created Caesar. There was no Caesar. Caesar wouldn't have the lifeline or life that he had without a DJ. I created Matt. If I wasn't there, if I didn't create Matt, if I didn't have Matt speak, if I didn't put Matt on the Breakfast Club, if I didn't recommend people to Matt, there would be no Matt. Not one. Not a lick. EYL is here because of me. Because of me going on their show. Me putting them on the Breakfast Club. And I don't have a problem saying it to any of their faces because they know.
Mm-hmm. And that made me just like, I don't like people, even though, because like I'm a firm believer in like, when you help someone, you don't have to go around beating your chest saying I helped you, or telling the world that I helped that person, or that person is in the position they're in because of me. That just shows a lot about you when you go around doing that to me in my eye.
So what do you said?
Because I'm paraphrasing, because I don't want to because I know it's like chopping up the conversation. But in so many words, he was saying that they were the reason that Earn Your Leisure is so big and Ian Dunlap is so big is because it was because of him, kind of. Like he put them in the position that they was in, kind of.
Mm. And you say that shows...
It shows a lot about your character.
A lot about your character. Okay,
even because even if I did, even like to me, when people help you, you can tell, like, what are they doing it for? Because if somebody help you and they just doing it strictly out of the love, they won't mention it. And even when you bring it up and you trying to big them up, they're like, no, man, it wasn't like that. You know, I just helped what I did. You know, they throw it off. Mm-hmm. But when somebody's beating their chest saying they helped you, they did this, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be in this position. I did this, I did that. That shows a lot about your manhood and your character over anything in my eye.
What do you think about that?
I'm listening. I didn't hear the whole context of the thing, so I don't. You know what I'm saying? I really can't comment because if it's only snippets and stuff, a lot of it depends on. Mm-hmm. It depends on how he was saying it. Was he saying it in a braggadocious way, or was he just basically maybe giving some type of clarification? Because sometimes you can say, yeah, you know, I put some person in a position to do X, Y, and Z. It doesn't necessarily mean you bragging. And you know what I'm saying? It is also particularly telling the truth if you did. You did you blow up after, you know, that, or on their end, are they trying to say that, you know, that they did it all by themselves? Mm-hmm. So, you know, I would have to hear the whole context of the of whatever was going on. I can't really speak on that, and I don't listen to Joe Budden and none of them niggas. So.
I don't listen to Joe Budden either.
No, it was a clip that came through my algorithm on my YouTube, but it's just that. Like what you said is perfectly right, Jerry Day. Like if you saying it to that extent to what you said it, okay, I can agree with that. But I'm just talking about the frame of like you got them people who motherfucker might have gave you a ride one day or something like that, or right. Did something and then they breathing their chest out talking about this and talking about that. Mm. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think just like. I think there's just like Jay Day said, multiple angles to it, because I think sometimes, okay, if let's say a person has never ever bragged or mentioned anything they've ever done for someone, mm-hmm. and then let's just say after 20 years of helping people, they say once that they helped whoever. Right, like let's say me. I'm trying to make sure I paint this correctly, right?
Okay.
If I'm one of the people that Jay Every Day has been helping for 20 years, mm-hmm. and then after 20 years of helping me and other people, Jay Every Day says I help spaces with whatever.
But in what terms did he say it? How did he say it?
I personally, you know what? I personally wouldn't have a problem. It depends on how many times this person is saying it. If they, you know, every time we go out. You know what I'm saying? You remember I helped you get that job?
Yeah,
remember?
See,
you know what I'm saying? You remember I helped you get that job? You wouldn't be at that job if it wasn't for me. Then now I wouldn't have a problem with that.
And that's the mind frame I'm thinking about it. I wasn't really going into these. That's why I say I'm chopping it up of how I'm saying it. Yeah. But that's how I'm thinking about it. Like
so if it's something like that, every time we go out, like, hey, drinks on you because you remember I got you that job?
Yeah.
You see, like, no. You know what I mean? But, you know, every once in a while, sometimes, you know, hey, man, you remember? Or to that effect. But I don't really have no problem if somebody bring it up, but just don't be bringing it up like every time we go do something. Hey, man, you only married to her and you got, you know what I'm saying, that big-ass wedding because I got you that job.
See, that's like context matters, right? Because even with that clip, right, like I didn't see it myself. But
yeah, and I just saw like, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm just saying I saw bits and pieces, and I'm just thinking in the mind frame of like, because I'm not a braggadocious person, and Every Day got to remind me this all the time. Like, bro, everybody's not like you. Everybody's not going to do stuff off the strength. Everybody got to go do things like you want them to do and all that stuff. And I got to remember that constantly all the time. Because sometimes you get in the mind frame like, damn, I wouldn't have did no shit like that. Why you doing it? But it's like, you're not me. Mm-hmm. So you're not going to do the things I do. And that's the only thing I was looking at that.
And sometimes you do got to humble people. Like, right? So sometimes it gets to the point where it's... Even though, you know what I'm saying, look, man, give me my props too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Give me, just like, you know, everybody want to be seen or whatever, like actually, I mean, because everybody use steps and people to get to a certain place, right? So each plateau, somebody's help you get
everybody
there.
help you with everything.
Right.
People say they did it by themselves.
Right.
Everybody ain't did it off the strength of their own selves.
Right. The reason I work for the company I work for is because somebody got me in there. Yeah. I mean, that's just a buck. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping it being. Somebody got me in there.
Do y'all ever recall when I said the reason why I'm working at the company I said is because my girl told me to go fill out for it?
Yeah.
Y'all remember you saying that?
Yeah.
Yo, who?
My girl.
Yo.
They should have put DJ Envy.
Oh, DJ Envy.
Let me ask y'all this though.
Okay.
Does that mean that person made you who you are?
No. Because you still had to do what you had to do. You still, even though a motherfucker like opened the door for you, you still had to come in and sell yourself. Just because you just gave me a little bit more, how can I say it? You reached your hand down to help me up. I still had to climb up the ladder and use my feet, but you gave me a helping hand. You gave me a little push.
Perfect example. You can lead a horse to water.
Yep.
You can't make him drink.
Yep.
I can push you to the door and be like, this is what you need to go to get to where you're trying to get. But I can't push you through it.
Yep.
I mean, I understand that to a degree, but it's like also, I mean, sometimes people do have those connections that you need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you do need those connections. I think that's a little bit more than pointing you to the door. That's leading you to it and through it.
But you have to put yourself in a position to be available to those guys in that room. You have to work yourself to that point, no?
You do, but I'm just saying. So, say for instance, if it were me, right, and I'm the person with the connections, you're the person looking to get, you know what I'm saying, to these guys over here, right? And then I'm bringing it to you, and I say, well, you know what? I recognize your talent. I see X, Y, and Z. I want to introduce you to these guys. Yeah, you have to sell yourself, but I'm bringing you to the door and through the door. And you know what I'm saying? It's up to you, obviously, to sell yourself to go further and beyond. Mm-hmm. But obviously, if I didn't see your talent, or just like anybody, scouting guys, or talent agents or whatever, they have to see a talent. And if they don't see it, then you don't get it stops there.
It's always a group effort, because like you say, that's a good ass example of what you said with like talent agents, like the head coach is focusing on the team. The head coaches is focusing on the team.
Right.
But you have scouts that go to all these schools, like getting paid a little bit of money, going to the little schools or something, and you like. I came here to see him, but that motherfucker right there, bro,
right.
Who is that? And he put his name on the radar of the head coaches or the colleges and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like, do you think Deion Sanders is able to do what he able to do without everybody around him? It's like the full team. It's like your circle. It's like the people you put in positions around you help you get to the thing. And then the person at the top, which is Deion Sanders always giving his team credit. Like, this ain't just me. I just get the blame for everything that go wrong and right. Mm-hmm. But when you really look at it to the boil of difference, look at all these beautiful coaches and all these great men I have around me that's helping me do what I need to do. So you always got to have a good team around you to see talent, to bring you a bag, to bring you this, to bring you that. It ain't just you because you the head and you get all the credit for when shit go right and all the credit for when shit go wrong.
Right.
But you still have that circle around you that's helping you do what you do.
Will, what was that reaction? Oh. No, I think it's all with the intent of the context of the conversation, right? Because there's a difference in bragging, like Jay every day said. There's a difference in bragging about what's going on and who you helped or whatever you did for anybody, versus mentioning that you helped somebody or whatever you did.
Okay, so y'all saying it like, let's say you that dude, you help me and Jay every day do something, or you help us get a bag. But every time we come around, we sit up here and we say, man, Spaces ain't shit, man. Fuck that nigga. Fuck this, fuck that. But you help put us in a position, but every time you hear us talking down to you. Mm-hmm. When you helped us do what you do. So now then you come up with like, nigga, I helped y'all do that.
Right. See, right. Yeah, I get what you're saying. And that's, that's a part of the context, right? So I don't know, again, what sparked the conversation, but I don't know, like, is this a random situation?
See that what I'm saying? That's what I say. He may earn your leisure.
I asked y'all that.
I ain't think about this part.
Hey, so let me ask y'all this, and it kind of is a little bit of a spin of what we were talking about, the what you brought up, Maul. But what about the braggadocious person versus the humble person. Right? Like, so say for instance in sports where you got that arrogant person versus the humble person. And my idea is that you need a bit of both, right? Because imagine, let's say boxing, right? Imagine that you have two humble fighters. That's not a very entertaining fight. Like when niggas is just, you know what I'm saying,
giving each other
respect, hugs and shit. That's not really entertaining. This is really reason why karate and shit really don't take off over here.
Everybody respect everybody.
Exactly, everybody respect. And I'm not to say that these fighters don't respect each other, but you know, I feel like it's always really geared towards a lot of black athletes, whereas like they say with even Michael Jordan or anybody, you know, Black Out, Michael Jordan, Floyd Mayweather, whoever, it's like we always have to take the humble route, which, why should you? I mean, I get it. It's fine to be humble at times because everybody get humble.
Yeah,
but everybody gets humble, but it's also like, okay, there's a time where I should be able to gloat about what I'm doing. There's a time, you see what I'm saying? Because if you're going to laugh at me when I'm down, you know what I'm saying, don't be trying to shake my hand when I'm up.
I look at it like this, though, because me and you was talking about that. Remember, we was talking about that, I don't know what you call it. You're perfectly right. But I always tell the motherfucker, because, boy, if you talking cash money shit and you get knocked out, toes curled, eyes holding the back of your head, nigga, look, yeah, you and me. That's what happens when you talk, because when you talk that shit like that, you got to back it up every time. You cannot have a moment of lapse. You cannot have a moment of, like, I'm humbleness or anything. No, you be that same. Keep that same energy.
But like I said though, you look at Ali. Ali talk cash money shit, whether he got his ass whooped or not, still considered one of the greatest. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it really don't. At the end of the day, what we got, and we have again two humble fighters. Niggas is just not saying nothing. Hey, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shaking hands and shit at the stare down and the weigh in. Like that shit's not. Nobody's gonna buy that shit. You don't want to see it. You're not finna go to the bar to go look at it. None of that. You gonna pick a side. You know what I'm saying? Normally, the side of the humble guy, you like, man, I want him to win versus the guy who talking shit.
No, but it all depends too because because when I like you no matter if you humble or not. But if I don't like you, nigga, I don't give no fuck if you kind of. I'm not gonna say it out loud like we say, nigga. We not gonna put our own out there out loud for everybody else here. Behind closed doors, we gonna talk all this shit, and I'm not gonna say what we were talking about and, you know, put it out there because that is the situation that go. But nigga, I was hoping he get knocked out. Because he was talking man shit and I don't like him. I was hoping he get his ass fucking whooped. It didn't matter who did it. White, black, brown, Chinese, whatever. Motherfucker just need to whoop his ass. Because I didn't like a lot of things he was doing prior. Like everybody was like him. I didn't like the situation that happened with another podcaster where he took up from him. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I tell you off there, I'm not saying no names. But I didn't like that. I liked a lot of shit that man did. Then every time you see him, motherfucker gonna put two and two together. Nigga with a white woman. So, yeah, I was hoping to get his ass knocked out. I ain't gonna lie. And I'm not worried about you beating me, though. Because I'll sue. We'll take that ass with me and sue.
Welcome to another episode of the KNoWKi podcast. It's your man Spaces.
It's your boy Maul.
It's Jay every day.
What's good, man? How was y'all last week, man?
What did we do last week? What did I do last week?
Word.
We went to church?
With the word.
I think we went to Spaces Church last week. Didn't we go to church last week?
Oh yeah, Pastor Spaces.
Pastor Spaces, we went to Spaces.
Yeah, that's why he cut his beard off. He's a
Mormon now.
No, hell no. He's a Catholic now. Look at
Catholic?
him. Yeah.
Motherfucker like he just got
kept the mustache. See, he just got the stash.
Yeah. You know, that's how niggas come out the joint.
Come into
First
my
face.
Give me 1,500 Hail Marys and come into my chambers.
Oh, you know more pork. He didn't care about Muslim. You know, motherfucker go to motherfucker jail and find Allah quick.
Nah, man. He Catholic. Man.
He Catholic?
Yeah. He
find some type of Jesus.
He got the
when they go to jail.
The little ash thing.
Yeah. Then they come out talking about, man, you know the Lord, you shouldn't say that. The Lord this. Nigga, don't get mad at me because you had to go find the Lord because you did some wrong shit. I've been out here free. I'm evidently, I'm cool.
Where I get some wine from?
Walgreens? Cooper's Hawk?
You saying Walgreens? That's crazy.
Cooper's
Oh
Hawk?
man, I thought you was the Catholic. They getting their wine, they drinking barefoot. That's wild.
No.
Man.
Bob, what about you, Bob?
I just went to your church, man. You preached the nice word.
You did not.
Yes, you did. Yeah. Hey, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I went to Spaces Church. Church of Holy Christ.
Spaces 317.
Oh, my God. No, man, but I'm cool. I'm good. Mental check, man. Y'all good? Y'all gravy?
Yeah, man.
Jerry Day?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Will, you good? All right, though, we good on the mental check, man. Ah, damn.
Stop
Shit.
it.
Fuck.
Dang, man.
It's like a comedian with seriousness too. That's the bad thing about it. It's like I want to laugh because I know you got to joke with it.
A lot of times
they
they say women are not successful in killing themselves. They say men are way more successful in killing themselves. Why? Because women don't really want to kill themselves.
Yeah.
Right? Because to get to the point, all you need is a banger. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get right to the point. Quit all that trying to slit wrists and take pills type shit.
Oh, shit.
Basically.
Yo, petty. Yo, super petty.
You know, I was looking at this, it's a diagram or basically a map of the United States, and they were showing where most suicides occur. And most suicides occur in those mountainous states and, the Great Plains states. Yeah, Montana. And basically the middle, everything in the middle. Yeah, and, suicides, I think maybe we talked about this early on in the podcast, but it's really something that's huge within the white,
What made you look up that?
Huh?
What made you look up that, what you just said?
No, I was watching a video, and and the guy, I sent the video to this guy talking about, certain stuff, Thinking Ape on YouTube,
okay,
right? So he was talking about, just the levels of suicide and versus, not really homicide, but why homicide occurs where it occurs is because, there's people on top of each other, right? So, and basically in those urban neighborhoods, and you have a lot of suicides in the areas that you have it in because it's basically a lot of loneliness.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of people, so there's nobody to really talk to. You're basically out there in the wilderness by yourself, especially like places like Alaska.
Okay.
Some of the highest.
Yeah.
I mean, not only is it dark, probably 6 months out of the year, then it's like, hey, there's nobody really to talk to. So, you get those long, and then that coupled with whatever drugs or drinking that you're doing, man, it can turn into a disaster situation. So, but I feel like that's still something that's taboo and not really talked about. We always talk about and harken on the quote unquote black on black crime, but the suicides damn near are as much as the homicides when you think about it, and who's doing it to themselves. That's like the other demographic doing that to themselves. Yeah, well, exactly. So, which to me is a further reason why you should be talking about it. Well, I don't know, man, because like if you look at it, it's a lot of this stuff is in the mountainous states, and a lot of them are very. I wouldn't say they're wealthy; they're kind of poor people. Are they third world poor? I wouldn't say, but
still rich.
Yeah, it's the rich compared to probably world standards, but in the United States, I wouldn't say. I mean, a lot of these mountainous and middle of America places really have problems. A lot of times we just think about, I don't know, some suburb around here. It's like, oh, they're getting money, but the majority, or let's say 100 million Americans, white Americans, are really poor.
Yeah. I'm trying to find one of those click to see this content type of stuff. But no, I'm looking for an actual list.
Hit your ass again.
Right. So it says Wyoming, 29.6 per 100,000 people. Alaska, 28.5. Montana, 26.2. New Mexico, 24.1. Colorado, 22.1. Utah 21.2.
And these kind of like all the states people don't really talk about though.
Right.
All these states is people don't really talk.
Wyoming.
People don't even know what Wyoming at, Alaska.
Kanye there.
That's the only reason they know. Kanye.
Yeah, Kanye.
Like people started back talking about Colorado because Dion.
Yeah.
And
well, Denver used to rock
Denver.
that. They was first to legalize that loud.
Yeah, but you don't know nothing else about Colorado but Denver.
Maybe other people don't. Me, I be knowing.
Yeah, that's true.
And high schools.
I know about because Aspen is in Colorado, right?
Yeah, Aspen.
I know about that because I always wanted to go to Aspen.
They got good beer out there.
Oh, Colorado?
They got really good beer.
This might be.
Colorado dope.
Yeah, it is.
It's kind of weird, look eerie. I don't know. It's maybe because it's so high up, especially Denver. It's so. I mean, it's called the Mile High City for a reason. But the area is thin. I don't know. I really couldn't tell the difference, but I don't live there either. So.
Yeah, South Dakota 21, Oklahoma 20.5.
Go down some to see where the real. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're using the free one. So.
Oh, yeah, for sure down. You gotta be clicking the show down.
There you go. Well, look, yeah, you got Illinois 10.5, and so as you can see, DC is Chocolate City 5.4 out of 100,000. Jersey is New York. That's what I'm saying.
Rhode Island, Massachusetts.
Because I know New York for sure is like.
Yeah, they all bunched up together.
That's what I'm saying.
Shoulder to shoulder on the sidewalk.
Even Florida 13th. Florida has a lot of people. So you look at it, and then once you start creeping up, Wisconsin, Indiana, now you can start getting bigger. It starts getting bigger and bigger with the homicide, but the demographic of what's there, white people.
That's a nice thing just to be like.
Hey, look at that! Look at this. That number's crazy. I'll go up a little bit.
On average, 132 people commit suicide.
Damn near 50,000, and this is what we're not. Nobody's talking about this. Damn near 50,000 people.
That's crazy.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
So you show it on the screen while we.
So those are you two in the clouds. I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, is it?
We had 5, man.
We were at 5. Are we at 5 now? It says 2.
It was, but that is crazy though, man.
And what would you think? What would you like pinpoint? You said because you was talking about how that's because of like a lot of them mid states, like you said, is because they are lonely. It's not really nothing out there. It's nothing but mountains and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's it's you. A lot of times you get stuck in your own thoughts. There's no telling what happened to a person in their youth. Right, so you don't have the proper things or proper outlets to cope with things. You know what I mean? You don't have the same like here we may have different outlets that we're able to cope with stuff like psychiatrists, psychologists. You can go talk to somebody. You stay in Wyoming or Idaho. Who the fuck you finna go talk to?
But a lot of it be. I don't think that's a good thing to say.
Not suicide. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I think that's an off camera thing.
That's why I say I don't think that's a good thing. Yeah. I said it like that because I don't really mean it by weak-minded people.
Yeah, I know what you meant, but the internet world will go crazy with that.
Oh yeah, I don't really want to say it like that. I think I said that's a bad choice of words.
I think like a lot of times people don't have the proper channels and things, the outlets to cope with certain things.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is they're going through. A lot of stuff. It's a lot of things that's covered up within middle America that's really spotlighted in urban neighborhoods. And, you know what I mean? So things that goes on and basically the same thing that goes on in urban neighborhoods is going on over there, but nobody's really putting a spotlight on it. Nobody, it's all covered up. And then now how you think that, it's la 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 la, the Brady Bunch type shit. And you know what I mean? It's one big ass happy family.
Yeah.
And then, we got the dog, we got the 2 dogs now. We got the 2 kids, 2 dogs, husband, wife, picket fence, and a cat. Because they love all them goddamn animals. So
I got a question for you. Are y'all still on that?
No, we move forward. That's something I want. My weekly dose of jamming on white people. What's up?
All right. So I was listening. I've been trying to. I was off work for a while because I recently jumped the broom. So I've been catching up on a lot of like my podcasts. You go through your daily routines. Like when you off work, you don't do your daily routines like you would when you go to work. You got to get back into the groove of things like you're doing. So I was listening to the podcast and the Breakfast Club, and I heard a segment where, y'all know who Jocelyn is off a real.
Jocelyn Hernandez.
Yeah, Hernandez. Yeah.
I just know the name.
That's not bit.
No, she said that. And I'll be prepared up. Like I don't know verbatim. I'm not gonna say it verbatim, but it's to the sense of how I took it.
No Puerto Rico press size.
Real quick. Cultivate Your Roots says social media has a major impact on mental health.
That's why we gotta get off of it.
It always has, right? Before social media became the social media that we know, the whole like teenagers in particular getting depression from what it is that people are saying to them online was a thing.
Mm.
No, but before that though, when we didn't really have online when we was going to school.
We had chat rooms.
No, but it wasn't still. It was word of mouth. A lot of stuff was word of mouth.
Yeah, it was, once social media started, because I remember being in high school on Tag.
I wasn't in no social media things in high school. That shit ain't really started coming until I moved back to Florida and what was that like?
Yeah.
Social
media wasn't a big thing for us because we're a little older than you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you what 34? 34?
Yeah.
34.
So we got like 5. We got 5 battles.
Yeah, 4. I got 4 years. I'm 38.
we got to get 4 or 5. I'm just saying like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so somewhere in there. But the deal is like, shit. I think Facebook didn't come. I didn't join Facebook until 06. So I
joined until like 07, 08.
So I was in college by then, or doing whatever I was doing. Right. So, I always thought about what would happen if I had social media back then. Mm-hmm. I mean, we had Black Planet, but that like niggas had dial up.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And then motherfucker pick up the phone and fuck everything up, boy. That's what you be online playing Madden. You told everybody you playing Madden. And you pick up the phone, you and then all of a sudden everything go down. You got to restart everything back up. Yeah, but the Jocelyn Hernandez things, right? Yeah. She was saying that a lot of mothers. Yeah, she said a lot of mothers need to take credit for fucking a lot of their kids up and for failing as being like mothers.
Oh, drop one of them. You got a clue bomb or something.
from failing like mothers. And I wanted to ask y'all, what do y'all think about that? Is that right? Is that true? Is it false?
My favorite moment from season 1 that never aired is when your mom and your stepdad came to visit you. And everybody said, seeing her talk to her mother about, I was a young girl and you let me run away and I had to fend for myself. And your mom doesn't speak English and you were speaking in Spanish. And it was sort of like they blamed you. We wanted that to be seen because I felt like it would explain why Jocelyn is tough and why she feels the need to go hard. Will that explain who you are as you talk about your childhood like that?
Well, I feel like I had a really rough childhood because, I feel like I was never given an opportunity, and like from my mom or my family, I feel like I was never given an opportunity, and I just feel like a lot of moms don't take responsibility for them not taking care or guiding their kids the way they need to be guided or the way they need to be dealt with. And I just felt like I could have been so much further in life if she was just a better mom. I mean, you're talking about a lady that has 6 kids with 5 different baby daddies, my mom. And you really never just been there for your child or even taught them anything. I mean, she doesn't know how to drive. She doesn't speak English. I've tried. I've spent a lot of money. I've spent a lot of time. But I just feel like she just failed me, and not just me, her other kids, by not giving us an opportunity to be the best we could be. Did she know how to do that? Maybe not. But I'm not going to give her that excuse, and I'm not going to give her a pass. And I just feel like I just have to grow up so fast by myself without anybody's help. And I just think it's so fucked up that a lot of mothers let their kids do that.
You know what, man?
I'll go first if y'all want me to.
Oh, okay, sure. It would be my
No, because if y'all ain't got nothing right now, y'all need to, because I've been thinking about this.
Be my guest.
I say yes to a certain extent. And I say yes because the lady that called in, she said it and she broke it down perfectly. She said, yeah, when you get to a certain age, at what point do you start blaming your mother for your fuck-ups? Because they stop becoming your mother fuck-ups and now they're yours.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
because
yeah.
you have to recognize what you've been doing wrong and what you've been taught has been doing wrong, and you start to redo that. Right? And that's 100% true. But then because Jocelyn went on and saying that she said her mother fucked up and fell as a mother because she had like 4 or 5 kids by 4 or 5 different dudes.
Jocelyn Hernandez's mother?
Yes.
Okay.
And a lot of people was talking about, yes, no, but they didn't bring it to the root. The root is her mother had 5 kids by 5 different dudes. What type of environment is that? Like, that's one of the major keys to me at my point. Like, fuck all of everything else going wrong. You had 5 different personalities from different dudes that you don't know. All your kids are different from one another because they got you, but 4 or 5 different other men mixed in with them. So, in my eye, like, a lot of callers was hitting on valid points, but to me, one of the most valid points was she had 5 different baby fathers. Like, that's not, and then that means you got dudes running in and out. If you had 5 different fathers, you had a kid by Jocelyn Hernandez's daddy, then you had 2, 3 more dudes within 4 to 5 years with kids or something like that. And that's a major key that we don't think about. Like, you can have all the sex you want to, but when you start offspring, and we say this all the time, you can't, that's too different. There's so many DNAs inside of you.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sister, every day.
Good afternoon.
So and that's one of my valid points about what she said, and I've just been thinking about that a lot because it is a lot of parents have failed a lot of kids, but it's only they failed them only to a certain extent.
Yeah, I agree. I'll say it like this though. A lot of times, and what I'll really be trying to, so we don't really know the history of why people do what they do, right? So I think it's also a history thing. And even though I always say, like, I don't condone what's been done or, the woman having 5 kids by 5 different dudes. But I always think of, like, okay, what's the psychology behind, how did you get to that point where you even thought that was okay?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's something maybe that could have been going wrong with maybe her mom or, her dad. Maybe that's something that she's seen because a lot of times we all just repeat what we've seen.
Repeating cycles.
We repeat, and you kind of do a little tweak and stuff to it because that's not really right, but sometimes you just still end up falling down that same hole. Yeah. So a lot of women, the detriment of their children, like, to a degree, I think so, right? Just as because the women, a lot of times you pick who the fathers are, right? So whoever you felt like you were comfortable with in that moment, that I guess that's fine. But once you decide that you want to lay up and have a baby by this person, there's some serious thought behind that. And we have to understand. And so,
or there is no thought.
Or it's always some thought. I think it's always some thought. You know what I mean?
You think about it more longer.
Yeah, well, I think
just a split-second decision. That's some shit you got to think about.
It's either going to be thought or it's going to be feeling. You know what I mean? So a lot of times you think with your feelings, right? So you feel this certain type of way about this person at that particular time. So therefore you decide that, this is the type of person that I want to procreate with. Well, nobody's thinking about the child in the long run. And I think that's what it boils down to, thinking about the children. I would bet 80% of us really ain't even supposed to be on this planet, right? Nobody's putting really forethought.
Ain't nobody said I want to have a baby.
Right. So people just out here fucking,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it don't matter. It don't matter if it's 5 or if it's 1. A lot of time, it kind of matters. But what I'm saying is nobody's really putting any thought into that, right? So the child is the afterthought.
Yeah.
Like that man, he's having sex, right? He's having sex, and then he gets to the point of, there's a point in his mind where it should be like, all right, nigga. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out or have a condom or what I'm saying. There's different options, but what I'm saying is nobody's really thinking to that point. Oh, okay. Well, what happens to the child? And even when the child gets here, well, as a man, what am I gonna do? But these aren't the type of men that's going to step up and step in and do what they're supposed to do for these type of children, for their children, because maybe it's something within their psychosis, or something within their mind that they've seen that it was okay to impregnate a woman and split. And that's what it boils down to. So,
and before you get on yours, I wanted to say too, I want to say this out the mouth. And I didn't say this.
Some people just like to breed.
Yeah. And I said this, but then you can't get, that's a great, Sister J every day. That's true. If you want to breed, but you can't be around here complaining when shit happens, i.e. Boosie. Boosie sitting up here complaining about one of the baby mamas he had and he going back and forth, but you had 9, 10, bro. What you think was going to happen?
Did y'all see Corporate video?
No, I didn't see it.
His last one?
No, I gotta catch up on it.
That was really good.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're gonna sit up here and be breeding with all these women because you want to have all these kids, when all these problems start to happen, you created this. And going back to what you said about, people not thinking.
Go ahead, Mom.
Yeah. When you go back to you say when people not thinking about having kids and all this stuff and doing IE, not doing your real research and stuff like that. And I always put it back to this. Our kids are going to come back to us and say, oh, some of the stuff that we did wasn't right. But we were doing the best we had with what we did the best we could with what we had. Yep. And I don't blame, I said this on plenty of podcasts. I don't blame, other people might blame their mother, their father for not being there, blaming this. But bro, everybody's human. You might look at your father or mother like a superhuman, but they're not. They're human. They're dealing with shit on top of trying to raise your little ugly ass too.
I don't know why somebody gotta be ugly.
It's just the simple thing. Gotta raise your little bad ass too, and they're trying to do the best they could. So that's why I don't fault people, and I learned this a long time ago. I don't fault my dad. I don't fault my mom. I don't fault for none of them. He did the best they could. And I'm doing pretty okay.
I totally agree with that. I think just sometimes parents, even though people do the best that they could or can, I think sometimes the best that they can a lot of time isn't good enough, right? So what happens is that your child is handicapped, right? So there's things that, okay, your child isn't getting the best education because therefore, you know what I'm saying, you didn't put yourself in the best position to put your child in the best position.
You look at the school system.
Right. Look up school systems or be the best that you could be. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Without going to the Army. You feel me? So being the best that you could be, putting yourself in a higher position, as far as educational, therefore getting you more, putting you in a better financial stability and stuff like that. So then you could pass that down to your kids, at least on the educational part. Maybe not having more than 1 or 2 kids, right? Because if you have more kids, that takes away from the time and resources that you could put towards another child.
I was thinking that same exact thing. Like instead of them, okay, I have this one child. Okay, my life is already difficult with this one child.
I'm gonna run it back.
And I was just trying to find a post that my cousin made. My little cousin, she was at my wedding. Y'all saw her. The one who y'all never mind. Nothing.
I'm sitting up there like, who is y'all?
No, and I meant y'all as in like everybody at the wedding was asking about her.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
She put on her thing, and I'm probably chopping this up too. She said, I don't see how you hoes, like y'all just said, run it back with all these kids. I had one. And I sat down and I thought, I'm not doing this with 3, 4 different men. I had to stop until I found the right one that I'm going to be with for a long. And that's what she said verbatim. She said, I had one. Okay, that's cool. Me and him really didn't work out like I thought we was going to work out. But I'm not going to keep having multiple kids by multiple dudes and being out here. She said, I don't see how you girls do that. I don't understand that. And then when that was one of the smartest things I'm not going to say. That was a dope thing I heard her say when I read it online.
Now, what has been presented to me in the conversation before is you have women, a lot of women that say they don't have children, right? Oh, well, I don't got, I don't have children. I don't have all these baby daddies. Well, I have a child, but I don't got these many baby daddies. Well, how many times you been to the chop shop though?
Yeah.
You see, how many? You know what I'm saying? Because now it becomes, it's like. And that really changed the game for me a little bit because it was like, on a morality level, it's like, okay, granted this person had, X, Y, this many kids with this many partners, but then this other person probably would have had this many kids with this many partners, but they went to the chop shop this many times. So are you as irresponsible or responsible as this other person? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's not like when people, you go to the chop shop so many times, it's not, you really don't have no point of talking either.
How motherfucking Corey Holcomb
Like
say?
you don't have kids, but were you pregnant before?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah.
Corey Holcomb say, man, your ass like the morgue. Shout out to Corey. Corey Holcomb said that too. I didn't say that. Y'all heard Corey Holcomb say this shit.
Hey, shout out to Corey, boy. He be Corey, the truth. But yeah. I mean, how many times people done went to the chop shop? You done went there 3, 4, 5 times. Well, that's 3, 4, 5 potential babies you supposed to have had. Mm-hmm. So, people be throwing shade too, at those women that I guess decide to keep their children. Because at the end of the day, and then you think about it, like back in the days, they had 10, 12, 13 kids. And they wasn't all necessarily by the same guy. When I started doing the research and I started looking, I say, damn, this ain't no new phenomenon. Y'all been fucking for a long time. You've been fucking and you've been having multiple, so this ain't like nothing new. So, but what they did do is they kept their children.
Like their grandfathers had families on the other side of town.
Yeah.
And their grandmama had a whole other family inside the house. Like,
that was it.
Hey,
Whoa.
Go ahead and say it too.
That's a drop.
And sometimes motherfucker didn't even know the family existed. So motherfucker had a funeral and motherfucker started popping up trying to get on the front row with everybody else.
Yeah.
Like, who are you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's my daddy. No, that's my daddy. Who are you?
they was out there cheating. So stay when you catch me cheating, stay. How about that?
Because it's like, these days you might need a kidney, and that's the way you find out.
He's a transplant for some.
It's not a match.
That's the only way we hear.
Fuck you mean it ain't a match? 18 years, and on the 18th birthday found out it wasn't his.
Yeah, man.
That's saying she a gold digger.
She ain't fucking with no government. She give me money when I'm in need.
That's crazy, Will.
And that's the deal, man. It's been, I feel like society has lied to people in general, but really has lied to men as a whole to have us thinking like dudes are the only ones out here or have been out here wilding. You know what I mean? It has you really, I mean, look, I was raised off Disney movies. You know what I'm saying? The women in the movie, Cinderella was my favorite. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think I wanted to get married because of Cinderella. I'll be honest, I was indoctrinated. But
Mulan was my favorite.
Mulan?
Yeah. You
like the little Asian bitch? No, I gotta throw bitch in there. But I feel like you're raised and you get to thinking of this princess complex, right? Women are princesses, and you know what I mean. And again, I've said this before. It's all dainty, and like they as conniving and shady as any man out here. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So once you understand that dynamic, it's not to say that every person is gonna be like that. However, it's going to be like, okay, I really don't put that past you as an individual, you know what I mean? Because we essentially all have these human traits, and we can battle against it, but, I'm not going to put it past you like what I'm saying, doing whatever is beneath you.
I was talking to a young lady, right, and I was telling her, like, the worst thing, like, a woman can do, it's not like having sex with another dude, not doing all that, but having a baby that you think is yours and you finally need some blood or something and you go test it and that ain't your baby and dude fuck around. I know this is a word thing. That's wrong thing to say. But I'm saying, a lot of people say that. Like, a lot of, even women say, like, I wouldn't even fault him for doing that. Because that's the most outrageous thing you can do. You can do a lot of things, but knowing that a kid ain't yours and thinking that a kid is yours and you raising them, that's totally two different things.
Yeah.
And that's like motherfucker just took your heart out your chest while you still standing there and put it on and stepped on it.
I eat Plan Bs like Skittles. What's that, Sexy Red?
Was that?
Sexy Red. I eat Plan B like Skittles.
But that's one of the worst things a woman can do. Like, you be raising a kid and it's not yours.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You not knowing. That's some wild shit. But to me, like that kid, you gotta know. Like, you gotta look at your kid and be like, this nigga. Hell no.
Say this nigga. It ain't even your kid no more, it's this nigga.
Yeah, what? No, because you gon' at a certain point, man, you gonna see, nah, man, he ain't, you can't psych yourself out like that. Like, little nigga got blue eyes. Like, fam,
I got brown. She got brown.
Everybody I know got brown, and this little nigga got blue eyes. Like, you know what I'm saying? He got wavy hair, wavy blonde hair. Talking about that. He clearly mixed.
So paternity test should be mandatory?
I think so. What's the problem?
I don't see why.
I really don't see the problem.
As soon as the baby come out and he crying, all right, before you put him on your chest, let me swallow him real quick, then I'll give him to you.
But see, the government's not going to do that. Why is the government not going to do that? Because they exactly they want to make sure that not just child support, but they want to make sure that that child is, quote unquote, is taken care of by somebody. You know what I mean? So we're gonna put that onus on somebody. We don't give a fuck who it is. Especially if your goofy ass then signed the birth certificate. Definitely not sure that this is yours.
In some states, a woman can write the man's name into the birth.
Okay, well, you need not to be fucking in those states. All right, don't be in that state. Fuck it.
Hey, I can't fuck you. Let's go across.
Let's go across line. No, we going across a couple state lines just in case you think. You know what I'm saying?
Naps and Beauty said, "Feed him enough, he'll look like you eventually." Old Southern saying.
That's an old Southern saying?
That's what Naps and Beauty said. I never heard that one.
Yeah, no, I've heard that. I've heard that.
That's motherfucking south of Mississippi, ain't it?
I've heard it. Feed him enough, they'll look like you. I heard it.
That gotta be south of
But then
Mississippi.
again, that is my sister, so we probably heard it from the same.
No, feed him enough, he'll look like you. Feed him enough, he'll look like you.
I mean, you look like husband and wives. They start looking like each other.
Feed him enough, he'll start looking like you.
Mm-hmm.
Feed him enough, he'll look like you. Nigga, you came home every day and he eat that shit at their table. That nigga, that's mine. I ain't trying to hear all this. I don't even want to know.
Shit, I'm trying to hear. I'm trying.
That's the thing, right?
I need to know. I need
pods. In a lot of those situations, the guys like, I've been taking care of this child so long that I don't even.
Because I know what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I don't want to face the reality of.
Don't need no kidney. Can't ask him. Or you don't know if you can ask him. Which one is it? You know what I'm saying? So it's better not. That's the only person you get a kidney from. Well, I don't want to know. When you sitting up there, I don't want to know. Okay, well, sir, you need a kidney. I don't know if I can ask him. Right. Well, we're gonna ask him. So.
Yeah, man. But as far as
drink water,
going back to the Jocelyn Hernandez situation, I think we got to give onus on all parts, right? Mm-hmm. So number one, women are in charge of who makes it to this plane of existence. Mm-hmm. That's the number one thing that they have control over. Period. No matter what.
Sex right? too.
In this,
I disagree with that.
In this society.
What you mean?
In this society, they have. Because in other societies, they they get pregnant. It's a wrap.
Oh yeah. I know what you mean.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Western
you
society,
get pregnant, you're married.
Yeah.
So you say you don't think they have control over who has sex?
In a consensual setting, no.
That's what we're talking about. I'm not talking about the other.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I mean, the internet world will take that, go crazy with it. That's why I'm specifying. But in a consensual,
for real,
straight up,
they will take what I just said and think, oh, we around here just knocking motherfuckers on the side of the head, getting the motherfucker drunk, and then just taking advantage of people. That's
what. Even with you saying that, they'll clip that one part up and put it together, make it sound like you said like some crazy stuff.
I almost told him to do something.
Charlamagne and Charlamagne and Andrew Schultz did that on the Brilliant Idiots.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Beyonce shit?
Yeah, they said the Michael Jackson law states that Beyonce is not allowed in restaurants or whatever. He made that up on the spot.
And why? But as a society, why are we listening to those people?
That's just the way of life, man. Like that.
You don't have
these
to
are the
listen
people
to
that are influenced. Especially, okay. So part of it is these are the people that people look up to, right? Or people look to for information. Second of all, these blogs are looking for people to give them something to talk about, especially big names like Charlemagne.
But still, I'm still gonna say, when you hear something stupid or you see something stupid, you don't pay it no attention. That's like when people always saying, "Oh, it's news, we got to report on it." No, the fuck you don't. Just because everybody else is reporting on it, that don't mean you have to report on it too.
That's true, but it's different when your bag is news.
But you still don't have to report on that news. There's a whole bunch of other news out here. Still have a choice.
I get what you're saying. I don't disagree. I'm saying it's pop culture. Pop culture is that's just the world we've been living in. It's just a little different now.
Because I don't pay attention to a lot of shit. Because I don't give a fuck.
I get you.
Yeah, that man over there too. He the same as me. He don't pay attention to a lot of shit. He don't give two shits neither. That's why we so goddamn cool. We do not give a lot of shit about a lot of fucks that these people out here do. We do not give. We do not care. I do not care.
If y'all watch the episode from last week, when he gets into his I don't care mode, he does.
It's just
he folded his arms this week, but when he tilted his head,
I don't care.
I don't care, man. But no, I think the onus when it comes to the whole process of childbirth is both the man and woman responsibility, right?
Okay.
So yes, definitely people tend to relive the things that they experienced as they were growing up, right? So if typically what I see when a woman grows up and she sees that her mother has a whole bunch of kids, next thing you know, she's gonna have a whole bunch of kids. If her mother has a child when she was super young, 18, whatever, she'll have a child when she's 18, or even a son with his father, right? They just maybe it's intentional, maybe it's not, maybe it's just like a whatever. I think again, the people that are responsible for bringing that have onus in Western society on who makes it to this side of existence is women, regardless. Period. So if you brought 6 kids into this world, it's because you allow 6 kids to be brought into this world. Right. Flips, and on top of that too, there is a lot of influencer women that are teaching women to cheat men out of their sperm, to get pregnant on purpose because you can get child support from them and end up not working, or how they talk about how lucrative it is or can be.
I don't know, man. Some of these, I guess it depends. Some of these niggas ain't got 2 nickels to rub. I mean, the people that they're getting pregnant by.
Right. Yeah, and that's what I've noticed.
I don't know how much of a scam it is. Like, I can see if it was like, I think the scam is them really wanting your DNA. It's a subconscious way of them wanting your DNA. Now, as far as getting money, unless this dude's some type of lawyer or something, like most of these dudes I be seeing, like I told you, the Air Force Ones be like this, beat, you know what I mean? They came in the box all white, now they all blacks. You know what I mean? So all I'm saying is they're not really scamming nobody as far as
Yeah.
I've seen these people's baby daddies, like they wild, like
right, and
the OG Knuckles.
And that's what I was gonna say. Like, if from outside of, let's just say, like influencer dudes like Nick Cannon, Future, DMX, rest in peace. The higher income a dude has, the less children he has.
Yes.
The poorer he is, the more children he has.
Unless you're the one guy who
that's all he got to do is fuck. That's all he got to offer.
I don't know, man. But you definitely right. I mean, if a woman feel like they can finesse dude or whatever, you gonna finesse them into the poorhouse, I guess. Like, what good does that do? So, I think it's, again, it should be more forethought and, bringing children into the world as a whole, as a man and
That's
woman.
a fact. That's a fact. They sure do. Niggas be around here fucking like they need a place to stay.
Exactly, homosexuals. You know, motherfuckers fresh out of jail. You dig?
I told one girl that though, like she was talking to me crazy. I'm like, girl, you talking to me like I need your income tax money or I need a car. I got both of those. And matter of fact, I don't even want to talk to you. I just told her, like, man, get the fuck out of my face or whatever. It just I went off on her after that because you was talking to me like I'm one of these dudes out here. Like, first of all, I don't play that shit. And you sitting there talking crazy, like, because they'll talk to you any kind of way when you need them. When a man needs a woman, she talks crazy, she talks reckless, she just go completely in. And that's vice versa with men too. When a woman needs you and they don't respect you like that, they talk to you crazy. And that's why you need to, no matter who you are,
goofy
have
bitch.
your own. Yeah, you need to have your own. You need to be able to stand on your own 2 feet without nobody. Now, the help or a motherfucker doing something with you, that's a bonus. But, bro, I got this on my own. So a motherfucker can't just talk to you any kind of fucking way.
I don't know, man. I think sometimes women talk to dudes crazy who got money.
Brittany Renner.
They be talking to
Who she talk to
motherfuckers.
crazy? Brittany Renner talk to crazy.
I don't know his name, but it was interview with she was doing an interview with Charleston White.
Oh, that's what she was twerking on or something?
Yeah. And in that same interview, I guess she got drunk, she started getting saucy, whatever, and she threw a water bottle and it hit. I think he's Charleston White's bodyguard, which was like a heavyweight boxing champion of the world or something.
Yeah. And
she was like yelling at everybody in the studio, getting crazy, cursing them out, all that stuff. Even man.
But I fought them that's in there though. Cause you want me to tell you the same thing? She had the same interview with Cam Newton. She was drinking and she was fucked up. But not one time did she raise her voice at Cam Newton. Not one time did she get belligerent. Those are the type of dudes that was in that setting that let her do that and talk like that.
That's that energy.
That's the energy that was up in there. Because if she come on this podcast, we can be drinking all day. But baby, you not finna be talking all crazy. Like, I don't give a fuck how drunk you get. Yeah. That's the energy you put
Brittany
in.
Renner, you want to come? You be watching this? You one of 5? Crazy.
Oh my God! He changed the subject. He got some else.
We get Brittany on here, boy. Our subscription count gonna go through the roof.
But no, but am I wrong?
We're gonna get Tiana Trump next.
Just say hi in the chat, Brittany.
Oh my God, he really trying to turn this bitch into something. But that's just the energy that they put out there. Charleston White and whoever was in that room allowed that energy to be put in there. Because if you didn't let him, huh?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I'm saying he was allowing it because while she was going off, he was telling people in the background that were off camera at the time, just like calm down, let her rock. But he's going at it from a content perspective.
Content my ass.
Yeah, have some respect though.
Yes, that was content.
I mean, you know, it's still my house, so have some respect. I don't give a fuck about no content. I mean, you just the internet bitch anyway. At the end of the day, so what you can do, you can bounce, and I get way more views just by treating your ass like that.
Shout out to Fresh and Fit.
Right? Yeah, but look at them niggas.
Yeah,
they hungry.
They were crying.
You know what I'm saying? One of the little
they had all the money in
them.
They so-called had all the money.
That was the best
they
eating.
They didn't need nobody. They had their own. They had got real estate. They talking about all this shit that they got, but you on there crying because YouTube cancel you?
That was the best eating that little Somalian nigga ever had, okay? That nigga head, it would start to shrink. Because you know the Somalians got them big ass heads and you know what I'm saying, them big stomachs because they don't be eating. You know what I'm saying? So you notice his shit starts to shrink. So, but now, since they got demonetized, his shit is swelling back up. You ain't noticed that? He ain't eating. That's real third world problems. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I'm from here though. Well, go ahead. It's neither here nor there.
But we said that last week too. Like, bro, you can't be right here just talking about what you want to say and saying what you want to do if you don't own some shit. We don't own this shit. So stop just thinking you can just say, free speech. Free speech ain't really free, bro.
Well, if you're going to shut us down now, shut us down at 70. Don't wait until we get 1 million.
That's what I'm saying. Because guess what, though? I'm going to be crying like Fresh and Fit.
My head going to get big, too. Right?
I'm going to start crying, too, like Fresh and Fit did.
Oh, man. So your boy.
My boy. What was my boy?
One of your favorite rappers.
T.I.?
Nope.
Rick Rose?
Nope.
BG?
You know you ain't said no BG, my favorite rapper.
No.
I'm from down south, but I ain't that far down south.
Yeah. Go, keep going.
Oh, Jeezy.
Yeah.
Oh, that Jenny Ma. We was talking about that too, weren't we?
Yeah.
That Jenny Ma situation.
Yeah, man.
So I don't know.
That's somebody crying. Coach Matrus laughing.
Look, so I had a theory because I was talking to Jerry Day. We was in the break room when we was talking about this, and it's the simple fact of it is, it's like, what you laughing? Why you laughing?
I'll tell you later.
Okay, you know how these boss chicks be saying, you know, they boss chicks this, they don't need none of this and that. Because Jenny Ma was one of those at one point.
So I know she was on the reel, and just from the fact of her being on the reel, I knew what kind of woman she was.
No, but I don't know what kind of woman. I'm just talking about what I heard coming out her mouth.
Right. I didn't know what kind. I had.
She was a boss. She tell people what to do. She had strong mind and all this stuff. But when she got with Jeezy, she regressed that a little bit, and she became more submissive.
Did she?
She said she did.
Oh, okay.
She said her man leads, her man does this, she don't have to do this, that, and the third. And I was telling Jay every day, is like, when you already got that mindset, you can't just retract it like that. It don't work like that. Because it's only so long that you can put on the act. And I don't know what happened. I don't know. I'm just going by what I think. My opinion. It's nothing that I heard. I don't got no sources. I'm just going by what I think and just like trying to put some shit together. Because you know my motto. I really don't care anyway, but we just using this for content. It ain't my wife. I don't give no fuck. It wasn't my wife. I don't care. It ain't my family.
Yeah.
I hope nothing bad happens to them or anything like that. I hope they work everything out. But it's just really none of my business.
So basically, like the feminist mindset.
Yes.
So I think a lot of women know that's really detrimental to them as a whole, and they really try to fight that, try to suppress that. But with something like that, you constantly got to fight it. You know what I mean? You constantly got to fight, you know, basically that demon or whatever, and try to keep it up off you. You know, and I'm not saying to be, you know, sit in the corner and don't say shit type of woman, or, you know what I mean? But you know, in the society that we live in, and I'm not sure of her background. I didn't even know who she was prior to the real.
Right.
So
I didn't know who she was.
I barely knew,
you know,
she was married to Jeezy. Like, I think I only know her because she was married to Jeezy. Like, outside of that, I wouldn't know.
Yeah. So outside of that, I don't know who she is or what she does or who her parents is. But there's no telling what they're saying on her side of the family and what, you know, because a lot of times, especially women, they get the input from their side of the family, and they'll try to run that, you know, whatever it is through the woman to you. So it might be some type of clash on that side, you know, given that Jeezy is the one who filed for divorce.
Clash of cultures.
Yeah, it might, of course, clash of cultures. Like she want to play with some Moulin Rouge ass music, and you know, Jeezy want to play, hey, you know, yeah. So you know, Jeezy want to play that all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a clash of cultures, and I think a lot of times people don't really, you know, you may see somebody who's pretty or handsome from a different ethnic group, but not really realizing like it's a big difference. You know, when you lay down with a person every day, it's like, damn, they eat rhubarb pie. You know,
The fuck is rhubarb pie?
exactly. You know what I mean?
He said it, okay. I know exactly what you. That's so damn shame that I know exactly what you mean when you said exactly.
Yeah, them exactly. You know what I mean?
I've heard of it in movies and stuff.
Rhubarb pie.
Yeah, rhubarb pie for real. That's for real shit. See, rhubarb pie recipe. They got rhubarb crisp. Look fat on it. So
No,
that's what Martin ate in life.
yeah.
Oh shit!
Go back to the movie Life and see.
he say, no, I seen it. But
Bro, Life was good as hell, bro. Bro, Life is up there in the top 10, bro.
I don't know, man.
You gonna eat
don't know about
cornbread?
No, what I'm saying is I don't know about, because my man didn't put Sister Act 2
Oh, okay,
in there, so I don't know.
okay.
I don't know. I don't know if Life's top 10. It could be top 10. Did we put it at top 10?
I think it is.
It's a lot of so many good black.
Yeah, it's a
movies, though.
lot of
Like,
good black
I
comedy.
mean, if it ain't top 10, it ain't no slight at that. But yeah. So
That shit look disgusting.
it do.
Dude,
Hey, look at that.
disgusting. Man.
That look like.
I know exactly what you exactly. Exactly.
So what I'm saying is, man, at the end of the day, you have these
Rhubarb. Ugh.
these different cultures, and what I notice is a lot of times black men try to conform to other people's culture. Like they try to conform to the white culture, or they try to conform to the Asian culture. Like if you're the man, be the lead, have your woman conform to your shit.
Yeah, because
the white man's gonna do that.
I've seen. That's funny that you say that. It's funny that you say that, bro. So first, I'll say I've seen pictures of her and Jeezy being overseas and him, like they were riding a bike together. I forget, he might have been dressed in something.
This nigga got a whole robe on. What's them shits called?
That?
Yeah.
One
of them little Asian Moulin Rouge roses.
But I don't think that's it. Kimono.
Kimono?
I don't think that's the proper
Kimono.
word. But it's funny that you say that. When a dude adheres to the culture of his woman.
Yeah.
I just watched My Big Fat Greek Wedding. And that's exactly what the dude did. That's exactly what the dude did. Like he only had himself. He was the only child, his father and his mother. And the girl that he was marrying was Greek, and he conformed to their culture. I don't think there was any part of, I guess, what would be his culture. Now, I'm sure there wasn't any part of his culture that she conformed to. Even at the end of the movie, while he's still a full-on white man, just because he's doing what Greek people do, one of the main aunts said, "Oh, he looks Greek." Yeah. Even in the other movies, people that aren't Greek, because they were doing Greek stuff, Greek culture, Greek dances, Greek food, they were more welcomed. People were more succumbing to their culture before the Greek people succumb to or adhere to other people's culture. But that's crazy.
I'm not doing none of that.
No.
I mean, if I were to, I wouldn't. No. Like I'm not. Hell no.
Oh no. I can't, bro.
Jumping the broom, look,
Jumping
man.
the broom, I can't, bro.
Hell no, boy. We crack whoever. You know what I'm saying? It's just part of the game. But
marry wives.
What the fuck?
I can marry your sister, B.
The fuck out of here.
I can't marry nothing else. I gotta marry your sister.
But they were saying that there's been multiple suspicions that the reason why the divorce is happening is because Jenny Mai has a temper.
I believe that. She hit his ass with a few soy sauces and bah.
She put soy sauce. She put hot sauce on her fried rice.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Soy sauce on her chicken.
Soy sauce on it.
He said she put hot dog. That's Lavelle Crawford, but that nigga funny, bro. He said that about Kamala Harris. She put hot sauce on her fried rice.
She do. She ain't black.
Man, it's just crazy because one, when I heard Young Jeezy, I immediately thought of you. But then second, it's like the whole divorce situation. Now she has I think that's the one I watched. But now she has a baby out of him.
Wait, what? Oh, she got a baby out of him.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you said she got another baby out here. I'm like, damn, what the fuck?
She has a baby out of Jesus. She has a baby out of the deal.
Yeah. So I don't know if he decides he's gonna be a full-time parent or not, but otherwise,
I think he said he filed for
50-50
custody. Yeah. And that's I'm curious to explore that. Not necessarily their case, but the whole
50-50 custody thing. What is it?
Like how does that work with, obviously, half the time with you, half the time with this person. But how does that work with a child support thing, right? Because a lot of times I've heard that there would be a 50-50 custody thing, but the man would still also be paying child support on top of it. So I'm curious about that. I'm curious to know what the specifics of that are. Napsy Beauty said word on Twitter is that she was allegedly sexting Mario Lopez too. I wouldn't
Slater?
Slater.
He said Slater.
Oh wow.
America's Best Dance Crew host.
Damn, that's a damn shame. But motherfucker didn't call you a real name. They call you a character that you played.
Hey,
we was shorties. That was when we was shorties. Say by the bell, we was shorties.
Yeah. When I wake up and I wanna, yeah, that shit was.
That shit was shorties. After school, watching that shit.
It's all right. That's what I'm saying about it. It's alright. That's what I'm saying about it. That was when Lark Voorhees. That was when Lark Voorhees was bad, Joe. Yeah. Lark. Her mama named her Lark. That's crazy. Crazy ass last name too. Lisa? What the fuck is she? Yeah. Lisa. Yeah.
But no, though. But that's.
I think Lark is a bird, ain't it?
Let's see.
Gotta be something.
The bar pie still on the screen.
Lark. What the fuck is a lark? Meaning. Lark. Oh, bird.
It's a bird.
Boy, I'm raw as hell. I'm telling you.
It's a bird.
I'm telling you, boy. I just got this crazy ass knowledge about stupid shit.
A small ground-dwelling songbird, typically with brown, streaky plumage, a crest, and elongated hind claws, and with a song that is delivered in flight.
Ah, look at Lark. What the fuck is a Voorhees? Like Jason?
Jason Voorhees. One who lived in front of Hess, a town. What?
All right. So she's a bird that lives in front of.
Oh, it's Dutch origin.
Okay.
Traced to Dutch settler Stephen Van Voorhees. Okay.
Dutch or Deutschland.
Yeah. Hey, man.
When I seen that too, I was kind of surprised and shocked too.
Because it was random though.
Yeah, it was.
I knew it wasn't gonna be. I didn't think
they were a quarantine relationship anyway.
Yeah, I didn't think.
But what the thing about it is, you have everybody that be striving to be that. Like everybody want to be some type of celebrity couple or want to be like that's goals. I don't think you have a couple's goals. Your couple's goals is your wife and you together.
I don't look at the celebrities for no.
I know, but I'm just saying your couple's goals though is you and your wife together forever. It's not nobody else. You ain't now. You might ask. I mean, you might get some advice from another married couple about a situation, but that's not goals. Your goals is you and your wife like this with nobody else getting the fuck in. Mm-hmm. It's our thing. We'll discuss this. I don't need your input on what I do in my family or between me and my wife. And that's what everybody failed to realize. And when I was going through like the counseling, that's what the pastor was saying to me. Y'all need to form that. I'm like, I'm not worried about that anyway. I don't give a fuck what her mama say or daddy say. It's got something to do with me and you. I've been through that already. But a lot of people need to look at that too because they marry trying to be somebody else. Like, oh, I want a Jay-Z and Beyonce thing. Jay-Z might be beating Beyonce ass. She just might don't say nothing. And I'm not saying that that's true. I'm just saying people look at other people for hypothetically. People look at other people for goals and don't know what the fuck they're really going through.
Yeah, it's all glitter and gold from the outside. Like you know what I'm saying? Outside, you don't know what, like my aunt would say, man. You don't know what they did to get to what point point they're at or how they driving that car. You don't know what a person doing, how they got there. So don't wish to be anybody. Yeah.
Be yourself and get that how you get that.
Yeah,
I've always been like that.
Apparently, he's filed this back on June 15th.
Okay, so he he did that right before the not the Emancipation Proclamation. Yeah, Juneteenth. He did that weekend of Juneteenth. Yeah, yeah. Shout out to you, Jeezy. You know,
crazy man, crazy.
No, I don't mean to say shout out to you. I'm free.
So I have a question. So, we currently work typically 5 by 8. The typical work week is
40 hours, 5 by 8. Yeah.
Right? 5 days, 8 hours a day.
No doubt.
So, how would you feel if the work week changed to, let's just say, 6 days a week, which is like 6 hours and almost 7 hours a day? How would you feel to get 40 hours?
No, I wouldn't like that.
No, I don't want to work extra days to get
the same amount.
2 more hours.
Not even work extra days to get more money.
Right. No, you said 7 hours, 6 days, 42 hours.
It's like 6.6 days.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't want to. No.
I thought you were going to say the other one. Work 4 days with 10 hours.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah,
that's my next.
So the more hours in a day and less days. So I work 12 hours. I do 16. I would do 16.
2 days.
Yeah, 2.5 days. Boom.
I do the 10 for 4
and
still go in on my 5th and have them 2 days off. Because I only have 1 right now mostly. So I do the 5th and that's all overtime for sure. I do the 410s or 412. You can do 412. I'm cool with 412.
I do 2 16s in a half a day.
Well, that eliminated my next question. I'm gonna say, would you do a 3x13?
I'm cool with that too.
No.
Well, I drive trucks, so it ain't really I don't do a whole bunch of shit. No way. Drive, drop trailer, pick up, and drive again.
I feel like since you drive, your mind is still visually stimulated. Like I don't do nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
I can't do nothing for that long.
Yeah,
I
you.
can work and take a nap. If I can still do everything I can do now, then maybe. But if like somebody was watching me, no. Like
You're doing your same job now. Your same exact thing, Will. But it's like he said, 3x13. You just getting paid like you're getting paid.
jeez, I don't know.
You're doing the same exact thing.
And you get 4 days off.
What?
Can you sit back?
Man, I give me a good book. I'm going through a book a day. 13 hours, and you just sitting there. I'm going through at least 13 chapters a day.
That means you get more time with everything else you're doing?
I'm the smartest nigga in whatever the fuck he work.
But yeah, I would do that. Less time, more hours. Yeah, I'm with that.
You know what bothers me, bro?
No, what you doing? I can't think it is.
More hours, less days.
More hours, yeah. Okay.
More hours, less days.
What about Cloud? Cloud, what are you doing? You doing more hours, less days, more days, less hours?
Lord, is that you?
in the cloud?
Yeah. That's the Lord.
What you got going on?
Now, some beauty. What you got? Do you say
Cultivate your roots. Or what you got going on? Who else is up there? It says
At best. 14 hour days.
14.
okay?
Okay.
See, that's ideal. Like
I do
even
that now.
yeah, even when I even thinking about it, 3x13 is kind of a stretch. Like it's like it's. I mean, I guess I get used to it after a while, but
more hours, less days.
Cultivate Your Roots says more hours, less days.
That's what I'm saying. I think at the end of the
Days are cooked though. You're done.
But you got four more to make
days.
up for it.
You got definitely one good day where you could sleep 24 hours. Like,
especially if you do it
you know what I mean?
a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Oh my God!
And think of it as like a job that you like. A job that you like. You just working 13 hours. I actually like this job. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't be really no problem. Now, if you don't like the job, of course, it could be like with any job. It'd be agonizing. Like flipping burgers for 13 hours. It's crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I can see it varying, people's opinions about it varying with their occupation.
Yeah.
Because if you, let's just say, like you said, flipping burgers, or you're in a kitchen, like in a kitchen for 30 hours, 13 hours a day, more hours, less days. Got you. Yeah, I see, there's general consensus.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I was saying was, you know what bothers me?
Mm.
So we talked about quiet quitting, right?
Mm-hmm. That's stupid, though, to me. I got a piggyback question off that too. So like quiet quitting, you're just doing your job.
Right, quiet quitting. So, okay, it's a different work climate now, because jobs are now getting to the point where they're not hiring people to replace the people that they lose. They're passing that same work off onto the people that continue to stay at the
I
job.
only can do so much. I'm only one person. When you're still doing your job, you're still doing your job. And especially if you read the manual, the HR manual, and you do all that by the book and all that, you cool. So that shit about that shit about quiet quitting, like, I'm gonna let you finish, but I got a question off that piggyback.
Remember, quiet quitting is just doing the basic
bare minimum of what you're doing. That's it. You ain't going above and beyond. You just doing what you're doing and going home. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's the dumbest shit ever to me.
You go above and beyond.
Yeah, it's dumb as hell.
My pet peeve is people that don't even want to do the basics of their job.
Yeah, that's not quiet.
You just right? What you think? What you think of that?
I don't see, like, if it don't concern you, that ain't none of my concern. Let his ass sit there. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. So when the manager or whatever come in and ask me to pull in the office or whatever, hey man, I did my job. You put other two and two together. I'm gonna holler at you though.
Yeah, Right?
So it ain't got nothing to do with me. I ain't tell nothing. I ain't say nothing. Look, I did what you told me to do. Look at my workload. I don't know what else happened. Go ask them. And I walked out and I did what I did. But people be like, oh, well, I did this and such and such, Jay ain't do that and he ain't do this. This nigga was just on his phone. He was outside talking to his girl. He was doing it. Bro, anybody ask you all that?
Yeah.
Do your job. Tell them you did your job and go about your business. Motherfucker love giving out information that nobody asked you for. The cop pull you over and tell me, man, I smoked weed the other day. I ran a stoplight. Nigga, I didn't ask you all that. Give me registration. What the fuck? People love giving information that they shouldn't be giving. That's just what it is.
Voluntary information.
Yeah, voluntary information. Voluntary snitching.
So, have y'all been up to date with this, was it United Auto Workers situation?
Yeah, I paid attention to it.
Have you?
I seen it on the stock market. It came across. I was just reading it a little bit.
Well, do you remember what it was saying?
Not verbatim.
Who was going to affect as far as what? What are you saying?
In general, like, what are your thoughts?
They wanted the less work days, right? I heard they want something like a 32-hour work week.
Yes.
But they still get paid for 40.
Yeah. That's why I didn't understand. I'm like, well, you want 32 hours? Like,
No, at some point they're gonna want their salary to represent. That's not how that works.
yeah, I can't see how you're going to be working 32 hours and still getting the same like this.
2 hours is considered full time.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, yeah, you could do it,
But you're only getting paid
but
for
you're going to
32.
get paid 32 hours. What's the point? Like, no, I wouldn't want that. Like, who's going to be on board with that? Like, oh, cut my hours.
Hey, bro,
That's crazy.
What's the age demographic for who's asking for that? Like, what's the age demographic?
It varies.
Yeah,
So,
I think
it's like
I wonder who's the head of that union, though. It got to be a young motherfucker.
it's literally, I think it's 3 separate states that are doing
Doing
so
it.
it's
And they all are collectively
The
asking.
main one is Michigan, though.
main one is Michigan, yeah.
Because Michigan is, that's the headquarters for, yeah.
Most of them automakers.
Yeah.
CBSNews.com, United Auto Workers, the union that represents workers at the big 3 automakers in Detroit, on Friday launched a historic strike over stalled contract negotiations. One of the changes the union wants to see is a 4-day work week, working 32 hours for 40 hours of pay.
Oh, that ain't gonna happen.
That's crazy as hell. I mean,
Well, when I heard that, if I was with them and I heard that shit, man, I'm finna go back in here and finish with this machine. Y'all ass a trip.
I'm not sure if Michigan is an at-will state. Is Michigan an at-will state? Well, I don't know how that really works when you got a union, though. Illinois is an at-will state. Like, nigga just fire you and not have a reason.
Oh, that's what at-will state mean? I was just gonna ask you, like, let the people know what at-will state
Mm-hmm.
mean. I mean, they fire you without no explanation.
Yeah.
Okay.
So niggas
But
be
isn't the
going.
union made to protect you from that, though?
That's what I'm saying. So I'm not sure how that really works as far as.
Like, you still sue for wrongful term.
Yeah, but if they come, if they make up some shit, like how you gonna prove it?
But wouldn't they have to prove it to if you're suing them?
Shit.
Wouldn't they have to prove?
Like, so
You're the one making the complaint, so I'm sure you're gonna have to say, well, before a lawyer even accepts that bullshit, a company could be like, look, man, we ain't got it. Boom. Now in the States they do have I forget the act. It's supposed to be the Warren Act, right? So they can't just lay you off, or I'm not sure about fire, but they just can't lay off groups of people without without putting it in on a website or giving them notice, basically.
Okay.
Basically, it's almost like a public notice. Mm-hmm. Your state has to, that company within your state has to let you know, or on that site, that they're going to lay off X amount of people. Okay. So if you type in Warren,
like that Warren,
W-A-R-N? Warren Act. Well, so there we go. We got Warren Act, Illinois.
Let's see. To the synopsis, right? Illinois' Warren applies to employees with 75 or more full-time employees, excluding part-time workers, and requires employers to provide 60 days advance notice of pending plant closures or mass layoffs.
Yeah.
So what is considered mass layoffs? Like how many people?
That's anybody over 75.
75 or more.
Well, we'll talk about that off air. I was just going to say something. You know what I was going to say?
Me?
No, Jerry Day.
About the company you work for?
No, just the company, period.
Oh, I don't know.
So
They better warn us.
Yeah, you gotta warn us.
UAW President Shawn Fain gave an address last month on Facebook Live explaining the demands of the union. Our members are working 60, 70, even 80 hours a week just to make ends meet. That's not living. It's barely surviving, and it needs to stop, he said. After receiving a contract proposal from Ford, which Fain said insults our very worth, he gave another address on the platform. First of all, if you're working 60, 70, 80 hours a week just to make ends meet,
You need a job.
it's a different problem.
I need a job.
It's the change.
I need a job.
No, what do you mean? What do you mean, Nilo?
I need to leave here, make plans to go work somewhere else.
So you
'Cause
telling
if
me
I
that
gotta
ain't
work-
OT?
Huh?
People doing 60, 70, you say 80 hours a week. That's not no OT.
Double time.
That's some good bread. I don't give a
Yeah,
fuck if
right,
it's $20 an hour. That's good bread.
But no, then that's going into double time too. Because after so many hours, a company have to pay you double time.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what.
So who's the union helping? Are they
That's what I'm
helping?
saying. So, and then that's a big. It ain't like that's a little private company. That's a big company like that. So they gotta go by rules and regulations. So they gotta pay double time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what is double time after so many hours? Like
that, I don't know.
I know if you work on your 7th day, you gotta pay double time. I'm not sure how many hours.
But yeah, if you're working 60, 70, even 80 hours a week just to make ends meet, then listen, it's not the
They
company's
might be
fault.
stretching it a little bit to make ends meet.
Yeah, yeah.
There's one person who worked 80 hours.
Right.
To go to Costa Rica.
And just the fact that they said even 80 hours a week, like you just stretching it. Like somebody worked 71, and you said, round it up to 80.
So, to my knowledge, like back in, let's say even here in Illinois, Ford is the big thing, right? So growing up, everybody wanted to work at Ford.
yeah, they want to work at GM.
Right, so they wanted to work. Hey, I got into the Ford plant. Now, even though I know sometimes Ford these days they've been going through their problems, they have furloughs and stuff, but Ford was the company to work for. Them niggas not getting paid no chump change. They might not be you know what I'm saying? They may not be balling, getting Rolexes and Rolls Royces.
Right.
What I'm saying is they're not getting. Yeah, they decent.
Right. Yeah.
So, I'm trying to figure out how much are they getting paid that they're just barely making ends meet, making 80 hours a week.
And Michigan is not no high state to live in.
That's what I'm saying. Car insurance is one of the lowest. Yeah. Indiana I think is the lowest, but Michigan car insurance is one of the lowest. Shit, you could buy property in Detroit for $1.
Average auto worker salary in Michigan, $68,000, according to mint.intuit.com.
That's fairly okay. Yeah,
That's livable, man.
So I mean, this is Michigan. This is
Supposed to be before overtime.
all right. So this is Michigan. This isn't San Francisco. This isn't DC. This
Right.
isn't New York. It's Michigan.
Right. The labor movement once fought for a vision of work life in which everyone had 8 hours of work, 8 hours of rest, and 8 hours of recreation. That sounds like 16 hours of rest to me. But he said, sadly, it feels like we've gone so far backwards that we have to fight just to have the 40-hour work week back.
Is
It
it
sounds like a
mandatory?
contradiction to me.
Is it mandatory?
But they were just saying our members are working 67, even 80 hours a week just to make ends meet. And now they're saying, sadly, it feels like we've
Maybe
gone.
they're not talking about ends home financial. Maybe it's ends for the factory output. Maybe they just think I'm the workers. And people working all that because they're not producing enough, whatever.
Right. And that's what I was saying. Like the less employees they have, which what I was talking about, the quiet quitting, less employees they have, the more work the employees that are there have to do. It's a trickle down effect, right? So,
But it's only so much you can do.
yeah, I agree. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying like it's once somebody gives up, there's more work on the people that's left over.
And I still do my bare minimum and I go home. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just do what's paid to you. And if you don't like it, we go somewhere else. We'll find somewhere else to work. Now you're going to be missing another employee because, shit, I'm about to be gone.
You got a thing?
Nah, man, they just, hey, look, a lot of you auto workers, man, y'all be doing crack in the facilities and stuff. No, this is a serious thing. They really be on some type of drugs up there. Alcoholics. They shipping half your fucking jobs down to Mexico. Like, if you look at most of your cars, it's being made in Mexico. Y'all trying to fight for a 32-hour work week and get paid for 40. The Mexicans is doing it for like pennies on the dollar. Like, I mean, the cars is fucked up, but still, people won't buy it anyway. So I don't know. It's just something to think about. Unlike UPS, that's a service. So that's something you got to deal with. Like, people ain't really got to buy no Ford or no Chevy or none of that shit. Go get you a Toyota. Clearly, they don't have these problems. So, or car problems.
So I scrolled down in the article. The 4-day work week is just part of the UAW's demands for the big three: Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis, which is formerly Fiat Chrysler. The union also wants big pay raises. So they want to work less and get paid more, which Fain says the big three can afford since their CEO saw a 40% pay increase on average in the last 4 years. They also wanted to be paid more time off. They also want more paid time off and benefit pension amongst other things.
Don't they supposed to get gradually? You don't supposed to ask for all this shit on just one contract? Don't you supposed to ask for this shit gradually?
No, I would imagine. Hey, shoot for the stars on your first.
Go crazy?
Yeah, shoot for the stars when you first start asking, and then your expectations are up here. Theirs down here, and y'all figure out somewhere wherever the middle ground is.
But I think you found the problem. CEO got a 40% increase, and I bet he don't work 32 hours a week.
You think it's less?
Oh yeah, for sure.
CEO?
Yeah.
What are they doing?
I mean, because the oversight is oversight of other stuff and keeping your mind on what's going on in all these different areas, these different.
Hey, stop
regions.
it! Don't do that. There ain't nothing but a father watching his kids. Hey, put that down.
And it ain't even that.
I'm saying that's it.
It ain't even that. It's his older kids watching him. They report to him.
Yeah.
Now, when he come back down, he's like, okay, I don't want this to happen. He tell the older kids, which the older kids delivers all the punishment to the younger kids that shit the shit out. So if it ain't a really big problem, it don't come to him. He's still someone golfing.
CEOs ain't doing the goddamn thing.
They also want to restore COLA, cost of
video game.
Huh?
So I'm playing my video game as a dad. Hey, put that down.
Hey, sit down.
Sit down. You take your shower yet? Get in the bed. Turn that phone off and that light.
Well, that sound like stepdaddy shit.
No, hell no. All my kids you don't know stepdaddy shit.
Didn't your mama tell you to stop? Boy, I'm going to go tell your mama, boy.
Oh, no. I don't know about no stepdaddy shit, unfortunately. I wasn't fortunate for me because I don't.
We'll say you're a professional stepdaddy.
Hey, boy,
that's crazy.
Go tell your mama.
They also want to restore COLA, cost of living adjustments, that ensure the working class receives benefits needed to survive in the current economy. COLA is used by the Social Security Administration, which increased benefits for 70 million people by 8.7% in 2023.
I'm not going to say what's too much, you know what I'm saying, what are y'all asking for? I'm just, whatever, I hope you get it, I guess. Don't expect niggas to be buying your cars and shit. See, here's the deal is like, because all that's going to be pushed to the consumer at the end of the day. So now the cost of a Ford Taurus, what I drive, they don't even make them shits no more. But let's just say, now this thing's $60,000, $70,000, right? That's crazy. Well, what I'm saying is, basically the cost is going to be pushed to the consumer, right? Mm-hmm. They talking about insurance rates going up because these people aren't making new cars. So like, why is the insurance rates going up? Where?
Oh, that's your hand when you're on the bus.
Oh, yeah. Flag the bus down? Yeah. No, you got to stand in the middle of the street.
Hey, I'm
Make
right
sure
here.
It's coming.
Hey, I'm right here.
So when I also think about that, right?
Yeah.
I also think about these people that were advocating for a higher minimum wage, right? Okay, cool. you get a higher minimum wage, but the cost is going to be pushed off into the consumer. They have to pay for that in some sort of way. It's not just.
Now, see, a lot of these people, the CEOs and COOs, and how they got a 30-40% increase on their millions of dollars salary. And companies are making more money but paying the people even less. So I get what they saying, and honestly, the answer is go start your own shit.
Go start your own car manufacturing.
You have a minimum job, getting paid minimum wage. What the fuck?
Yeah, minimum job, minimum wage. Yeah. And people don't.
I'll go start fixing cars, so I know what it is wrong with them when they fucked up, because I don't want to fuck it up.
Well, a lot of times that's cities and municipalities intervening to make sure those people get proper. I mean, $15 an hour. Think about it, it ain't really that much.
Yeah, no,
you see what I mean? Like, because the federal minimum wage, I still believe, is like $8 or $7.75 or something. So, and you got states that really, there's a lot of those southern states still adhere to that.
Hey, thank you, God.
You know, so you get down to like Arkansas and some Mississippi, they still like adhere to that federal minimum wage. No, we don't. Yeah, but it might be low. But damn, is it $8 an hour low?
Thank you, God.
I don't think no one's supposed to live off minimum wage.
Thank you, God.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so it'd be like, but companies will push it. All right.
Hey, boy, that's why I try to thank them.
Oh, yeah.
Niggas, we blessed. Very blessed.
Blessed day today.
I'll read this last part. And one it says in one of his addresses, Fain made the big three ranked. Fain said the big three ranked in a combined $21 billion in profits in the first 6 months of 2023. Record profits mean record contracts, Fain said. UAW wants Ford and GM's full-time assembly plant workers to make $32.32 an hour, and Stellantis full-time employees to make $31.77 an hour.
That's decent, y'all. Huh?
Fain says starting wages have decreased from 2007 when new workers made $19.60 an hour or $28.
Yeah, I don't want to hear no teams. That's crazy. What parts of that?
$28.96 an hour to account for inflation. Now starting wages are $18 an hour.
Oh shit. I mean, that's good. Look, that's good for people coming out of high school and stuff like that. Because a lot of times, and you got to think about it, a lot of times people expect these entry-level jobs to keep paying higher and higher and higher and not really wanting to further their education or further their skill set to get more money. So cool. I feel you. And then they be quietly, letting niggas go. Like, hey, yeah, we don't need you no more. I'm put a lawsuit on you. Okay, we can hold that up in litigation for years. That's nothing. You know what I'm saying? How much money do you got? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Versus how much we got.
Right, versus how much we got. So
you'll forget before we give you money.
Thank you, God.
Yeah, everybody, just thank God for where you're at.
Yeah, where you going.
Where you're going. And capitalize on some free shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't be too prideful to capitalize on something free from time to time, or maybe getting a discount and just kind of making ends meet as you can. Right? I don't see nothing wrong with it.
So what I think, I don't know how well this is thought through. I think with this age of technology that we're living in and this age of AI, I'm wondering if these companies are saying, okay, we see how dependent we are on personnel hours, so let's see how we can figure out how we can depend less on actual people and rely more on artificial intelligence.
Hey, but when you come with that artificial intelligence, you start starving people out. What happens?
No, somebody got to run that. That's why everybody going to get the Google search. Somebody is behind that. You know what I'm saying?
But that's like 1 or 2 people. That's not a whole bunch of people.
No, but to run a good AI, you need a server in your building. Somebody got to put that server there. Somebody got to maintain that server. They need people on standby. All that shit.
Yeah.
There's jobs opening up. Now you got to transition.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But then they're going to underbid you. They're going to get Buddy from across the seas.
People who run these servers are making buku fucking money, and it's the quietest shit out there because it's the nerds, quote unquote.
Who, the Indians?
No, I'm talking about like the white nerds.
All right, but they getting Indians for the $40,000. Clearly doing $120,000 job. That's
the remote shit, the cyber shit.
No, I'm saying I'm talking about they're bringing them over here. Like it's showing that they're bringing them over here, right? Giving them their visas or whatever, letting them work X amount of years. This job is clearly worth, if you had to pay the regular American 120. Oh, we're gonna give you $40,000 because they used to 40,000 rubies. You know what I'm saying?
Man, hey.
I mean, look. At the end of the day, robots take over, start building cars. We start taking up all the jobs. Who the fuck gonna buy anything? What, the robots? Like this, it becomes stupid to me.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, even with that being the truth, and I agree with you, we do see that companies are relying more and more and more on automated stuff. There's a fully automated McDonald's.
I bet you I wouldn't shop at that motherfucker. I already don't eat really at Thought Burger anyway. Okay, so Thought Burger. I've been calling it that for years. But why would you shop at something fully automated?
That's a good point. But people don't think about that though. That is a great point. I promise you, that's a great point. That is a fucking tremendous point. Like, why would you do that?
Right, because to me it's like, okay, I wouldn't step foot in an Amazon store. The fuck for? You know what I mean? Like that's stupid. Okay.
That was a bar.
I mean, we haven't learned from what even the major box stores have done to the mom and pop stores. Then you can't learn, like, now you have the Amazon, what they're doing to the box stores, what AI is finna do to the Amazon. Like, and you steady participating because you want shit quicker and faster. Right? Because you're getting shit quicker and faster, but is it as good as that authentic mom and pop? So, I don't know. Me personally, and this shit probably take years but technology moving like that, so it could be tomorrow.
Faster every day.
Bro, that you really didn't hear what he said? Like, why would you, that is a true statement. Why would you keep shopping there when it's putting your fellow other humans out of jobs and it's just leaving this 1% to doing what they're doing? That's a valid ass point. Like, as human beings, you should have, but everybody don't have the sense and the common sense.
There you go.
And the wherewithal to know that. Like, bro, why would you keep shopping there? If it's an all automated system, you go in there, you see that, like, I go to another one, I still want it, but I go to another one where I can talk to a human being and do that. You can still support it, but I'm not supporting that.
Because ain't nothing better than going to a place that, say, make coffee, right? And you striking up a conversation with the cashier or the what they call a bartender, what is the barista. Striking up a conversation with the barista. This is how you're able to, make connections, build with people. Everybody going in to get some automated shit, they finna get their shit and bounce. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Everybody gonna be in their own little world, which everybody's already getting to that point, right? So it's like people need to, become a little bit more communal. And start thinking about fellow. I mean, of course, I'm like the next person. Do I want to go through the toll booth and hand my money to the person at the toll? No, I want to go through the automatic toll. But just certain things is like, I'm not finna
skip past.
Yeah, relegate that or delegate that to some type of automated machine.
But you bring up a valid point, and that other thing that you put in our group chat when you were talking about the Gen Zs and the baby boomers of how they're lonely and stuff like that. And that right there, to me, I don't know if it make a correlation to y'all, but it make a correlation to me that people just don't like interacting with other people. Mm-hmm. They want to just get their shit real quick and keep on going because they so antisocial and all that. Yeah, they so scary of other people. Scared of like conversation and all that shit. And I think that's who's really building this shit. Yeah. People like that is the ones that's really building
the hurt
shit
people.
Like this. The hurt people who don't, scared of rejection, scared of like people telling you no, scared of motherfucker calling you ugly or something like that.
Your little lame ass, fucking up the game.
And all that stuff, that stuff really builds character because that make you want to get better. Yeah. At the end of the day. Everybody up here, everybody in this world has been, motherfucker had some negative comment or something about them that made you better. That's what made you better.
Motherfucker called me ugly the other day. I said, bitch! Nah, I was just playing.
All the kids are not really being exposed to that. Everything is considered fucking brilliant. So these motherfuckers So when somebody gives them an opinion that is different than theirs, they never had an opposing opinion.
Yep.
In their household, they're growing up, oh, you can do it, you the best. There ain't nobody better than you, and whoa. Now somebody out there a little bit faster than you, but you can work harder than you can beat them.
That's why shit talking is important. That's why shit talking is important. I'm better than you, nigga.
Hey, I told my son that they was better than you, but y'all need to go practice harder, get better.
Yeah, get better.
That's the only thing that will make y'all better. When a motherfucker whoop your ass, I'm talking about decent.
Yeah.
Whoop you real decent
Yeah.
to where you embarrassing everything.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that shit won't happen to you no more. You might get beat, but you ain't gonna get beat like that no more.
No more waters, no more nothing at the end of the practice. No, man, y'all didn't do good. Get on the bus. Oh, no water. You don't get no water. No, you don't get none of that. You want nope. Nope. See, that's the problem. That's the problem. See, these niggas is the 15th place trophy getting niggas. You know what I'm saying? No, they won't fit. You know what? 15th place here. Here's a trophy for you. Too.
No, I ain't saying no trophy. I said water.
No water. No water. Water is a privilege. This is the thing.
Wow.
Me and my son, we was hooping, right? You know what I'm saying? We hooping. He missing shots. You know, can I get some water? Hell no, water is a privilege. Yeah, it's a privilege. Do them push-ups. You know what my son said to me yesterday and the day before, or today? Even though the weather, I had to go yesterday. He's like, you know what? Can we go out there and shoot the basketball? That's what I'm saying. It's you. When I was growing up, when I played, you know what I'm saying, organized sports.
Old ass nigga, right? You hear this old ass nigga?
Yeah.
Talking about when I grew up.
Yeah.
This old ass head, old ass motherfucker.
I'm a throwback nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Old ass nigga, man.
Yeah, throwback, 84, 85 season, you know what I mean? But look, back in the day, it was like when we had organized playing basketball, whatever, you would get water or whatever at the end, but you had to do certain things. Water was, it was almost like, you know, you rewarding yourself with a steak.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You had to do certain things, get to certain points, meet certain goals. Boom, nigga, you get some water. Yeah. Do it again. Boom, you niggas get some water. Hey, it's not water time all the goddamn time.
You ain't lying.
That's what I'm saying. We're rewarding our kids. Motherfuckers ain't doing shit. Right? They're not doing well in school. They're not listening to us. They want to play the fucking video game. You know what I'm saying? We still gonna go out there and reward them because of some personal shit that we got going on. Because our mama didn't get us the shoes that we want. Because we didn't get haircuts all the goddamn time. Because our clothes wasn't all the way motherfucking fresh. You know what I'm saying? We doing that, right? Kids is fucked up in this game. No fucking water until you get A's on your fucking report card. Little slow ass nigga.
Hey, go check out the No Absolutes podcast. Go check out the No Absolutes podcast with Will Hill. We're gonna drop the mic after that. Hey, this has been a great rendition of the KNoWKi podcast. I'm your man Spaces.
It's Jay every day.
Hey,